Friends, welcome back. Happy Friday. Happy January 17th. I do know today's date because it's my mama's birthday. She is 85 years young. She wouldn't mind me saying that. But welcome. My name is Teri, and today I'm going to show you what I have been working on throughout all last week. I felt like I didn't do much this last week, but it's because I spent two days, maybe 3 days, working on something that I ripped out and redid and ripped out and redid and ripped out and so and so. But anyways, so my name is Teri, and you're all welcome here. This is my channel on A Simpler Life for Me. Because I'm retired, and I post videos on Tuesdays on my weight loss journey, and then on Fridays on my makings. So how are you all? I just got home. My sister had taken the afternoon off, and we went, and she invited me to go with her and my mom and our mom. She originally was going to take her out for lunch, and they picked Culver's, and I had contacted my mom. I wanted to take her to her favorite Mexican restaurant, and she said, Cheryl's here. Cheryl says, you want to come along? So Jerry went along with us, and got to see our great niece that we don't get to see very often. And we were at Culver's for like 2.5 hours, so it was a nice chit chat. So, but anyways, so I just got home, and I just want to sit down and just put my feet up, but I remembered I gotta record a video. So today is actually a beautiful sunny day, and it is like, I think in the 30s. But starting Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the highs are supposed to be like -2. They're telling people to stay in if you don't have to go out. But yeah, this month has just gone by fast. So anyways, I am going to hop right to it, and because I've got then to take care of this, and I got bread to make yet. That might wait until tomorrow, because that usually takes a couple hours and everything, but we got enough bread to get us through actually tomorrow. So, but other than that, I just wanted to come on and say, let's see what Teri's been up to. So I'm going to start out with, I'm going to tell you there's crochet, there is knitting, there is card making, I'm looking around here, and cross stitch. And there is, I don't know, everybody calls them acquisitions, or I don't know what to call it. But I just bought it today. So I'm going to hop right to it. I'm going to start in with the crochet. And we'll probably hop back and forth, crochet, knit, crochet, knit. So the crocheting, I saw this pattern on Expression Fiber Arts company. It was called The Awakening, and it was a beautiful 5 skein shawl, and I thought, ooh, I'm going to pull 5 sock skeins of yarn out of my stash, which I did, and it was crochet, and I love to crochet. And y'all, this one makes me think. You know how some patterns you can just whip right through them, and other ones you're like, ooh, I need a ruler or something to go line by line and then just do it. Well, that's kind of how this one is. And I almost ripped it out and just said, I can't do this. I just can't do this. But I put it off. I haven't touched it since, but I did get, I think, 2 more rows in it. But it makes me think. So the yarn I am using is in this from La Jolla Yarns. It's 100% superwash merino, 400 yards and 115 grams. And this was their color of the month for June of 2021. So that's the one color I am on now. And if I don't pull stitches out, this is about how far I've gotten so far. So, I mean, it's not absolutely difficult because you have this right here, this section right here, which is just all double crochets and chains. It was doing these shells. Now, these shells are going to give it a nice little pop of texture to it. But the way that she has it wrote out, it's like it has parentheses, and then inside the parentheses it has parentheses, you know, and then it's just like, instead of saying chain 2 and double crochet in the chain 1 space, it will say something like 2 chains, skip, chain 1 space, double crochet. Like, what? But anyways, so I haven't done much on it because one of my projects took over. It just took over because I wanted to just try it. And once I started, whoops, wrong one, I couldn't put it down. So that would be my socks. Now, I knit socks. I have 12 skeins that I'm just pulling out of my stash. The first of every month, I'm pulling it out of my stash with a number that is picked on a spinny wheel. And then I knit socks. And my goal this year was to either do color work socks or more textured socks. Or if I just feel like knitting plain vanilla stockinette socks, that's what I'm going to do. But I had gotten this color work book by Stone Knits, I think it is. And there was a coffee thing in it. And I thought, that shouldn't be that difficult. Well, y'all, it wasn't difficult. It's just trying to figure out. I went by her gauge, and I was... I thought within her gauge, but apparently not. And I knit the section up, went up the needle and a half that she suggests, and I couldn't get it over my heel. It'd go over my foot, but I couldn't get it over just about, I needed about this much more for it to go over my heel. And that was like 34 rows. So I cut the yarn because I wasn't going to undo it, but you could not tell that, you couldn't see the design very well either. So then I started researching on color work, and I found Summerlee on Summerlee Knits, and she had done a video on how to do color work on socks, and what side the yarn should be for your design, and what yarn should be for your background color. And your background color normally is what the whole sock is going to be, and the contrast color is what it is the design. And I was flip-flopping back and forth, so no wonder it didn't come out like it was supposed to. And so once I understood that you put the contrast on your left side and your background on your right side, and then about the floats and keeping the tension, and she suggested going, she always has to do a US 2. She uses a US 1. Well, I knew the 1.5 wasn't big enough, so I tried the US 2, and I knit the cuff on my US 1, and then I switched over to the US 2 on the leg part where she says, and I did an increase where she says, and then I did the first band of color work, and I thought, I'm putting it on my foot, I'm not going to go any further to see if it's going to go over my heel. Well, it actually went over my heel. So I was pretty confident that the rest of it would, and so I knitted up the rest of it, and then when I got that done, then I pulled it up over my foot, and the whole thing went up over my heel. And actually that size 2 doesn't look that much bigger on my leg. It's a lot longer than what I usually like to knit my socks, because I normally do a 20 to 30 round, and this was like 40 some. But anyways, this is what it looks like so far. I'm pretty pleased with it, because it actually looks like coffee cups with steam coming out. So I've already gotten through the let me get a sock blocker here. I already got through the heel and everything, and I am about an inch from the toe. Just a second, see if I can do this. Maybe I can't do this. I see people do this all the time. I should be able to do this. All right, so this right here, so it should go like this, so that way you can see. So I got the heel flap and the heel turn done, the gusset pick up, and I am just knitting stockinette to the toe, and I have probably, I would say, about that much more before the toe. And I'm just going to carry this. She has this little pattern design by the toe, but I'm not going to do that. So let me take that back off. But I was really, and you can see all my, I got lots of ends I got to weave in. That's the only thing about color work. But I was really tickled pink over this, that it actually resembles coffee cups like her design. So this is what I've been working on a lot. This part right here took me longer. I could have had this sock done if I just would have knitted it and didn't do this, but because you have a chart to follow and you're going, you know, you're knitting, you know, one color is in this hand, one color's over in this hand, and you're knitting, and so I do English style on the right on one, and I do the continental, my normal, on the left hand. So, but anyways, so that took several days to do once I got it going. But so I've been working on that, and I'm going to try to get at least one sock done so that I can sit there and start the other one. So, and then the other thing that I've been doing is I've been really wanting to cast on another sock, and this has been calling me. This was from my October draw that I did not get done last year, and this one is through Mint Rain hand dyed yarns. This is called Tough Sock. It's her 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, 463 yards, 100 grams, and it's called Stranded. It's called Stranded, and this is what it's going to look like. I thought about doing a texture, but I don't think so. I think I'm just going to knit it in the stockinette just to see what the yarn does. Almost looks like plaid, doesn't it? But this had long sections of the black and gray in it, and then the purple, and then it had that cream white. So it'll be interesting to see how this does. So I am going to cast that one on because I've been wanting to do that. The other thing I've been working on is my granny square continuous blanket that I am using with leftover yarns. I am using a size G hook for this, and I'm just doing your typical granny square, and I am grabbing my leftover fingering yarn, and I am taking it from the top and then taking it from the side, so then it makes it like a DK weight. And then I've been using that to get it into a blanket. And if I have DK weight, then I'm just holding it one. So right now I am on this colorway that's going in it. So this is very scrappy looking. And I've made one other one like this. So this is what it's looking like so far. See if I can do this without ripping my stitches out. So I really enjoy this. This makes it nice and squishy. And when you hold these variegated yarns, it makes a more of a, I don't know, a beautiful design in it. So, but I just started that one with this color in it right there. And of course, the bigger it gets, the more yarn you end up using because it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm making this, as this one I try to make it so that it drapes over my feet a good foot, so that's going to be a lot wider. And I'm 5'7" 3/4", something like that. So the other thing is that I did get, I'm doing a 10-month cross stitch along, and that started January 10th, I think, something like that. And this is from La Di Da, one stitch at a time. It's like a sampler style. And so she has broke this up. So the first line of the words is January's. February's is the second line with those motifs. So it's got the motif and then the second line right there. And then month 3 and 4 is this whole area. Month 5 is the big old house. And then 6. And then she's got this divided right up because it's 10 months. So I am doing mine on 18 count vintage French country mocha. And I do have January's all done. So I am doing weeks dye work, and I am doing 1/1 because I like the coverage better. So this is how wide it's going to be. I think it's going to be like a 14 by 14, something like that. So I was working on that. So I pulled other things out to work on. I did find another one that I'm going to be starting as soon as the fabric comes in, because y'all, I had a whole bunch of 18 count. I have 14 count fabric. That's what I started on. But I've discovered I really like 18 count. And I like one strand. Not that I won't do anything less, or I've done 20 count. I've tried linen, and I've tried linen. I'm just so comfortable with the Ada that that's what I'm going to stick with. Do what makes you happy, right? All right, so I did get my December socks done right here. And the reason it's on a sock blocker is because I soaked it and I blacked it, because normally I just knit them and just throw them in my drawer. But doing color work, they suggest that you do one like this, that you soak it, then you black it on your blackers that I just showed you, and then you count your stitches to see how many stitches you get in an inch, and that will tell you what your sock gauge is. And you should be between like an 8 and a 9. And I've always said I've always been an 8 on black, so I haven't counted to see yet. But I just have these Amazon plastic ones so they can just dry like that. But these are the only socks that have ever been blacked. I never block my socks. So this is my typical cuff that I like, it is 10 rounds of 2x2, which is knit 2, purl 2. And then the leg, this one was 20, so it's more of a shorty. And then my heel flap and gusset turn that I always like to do. And then I just did contrasting heel and toes. So I have that done. And then I got another hat done for the donation box. All this stuff, I will have the links in my description box of the different things. Probably not the stranded thing, because that's out of a book. But for this hat, the continuous granny, I got, if you're on Ravelry, I have that on my description, and I always have, 99% of the time, I have all the information there. But this one right here, I did this one. This one took me about 4 or 5 hours to do. This one, I wish I could remember the name that she called it, but excuse me, it was basically an extended double crochet. Not difficult at all to do. Just a second. I didn't bring a drink in, and I'm getting a dry throat from talking so much. But I used, from a stash, I had this basic stitch. And this is in the Burl, B-E-R-Y-L colorway. Let me go get a drink. Okay. I got my pink Crystal Light lemonade. After talking 2.5 hours, I should have gotten something to drink because I can start to feel it. Okay, the other thing is, so on this one was very simple to do. It was from Bag O' Day. I will definitely be making this one again. It is a lot. With some double crochets, you can see through them, like you get gaps, but this one you don't. This one has more of like it feels like on your head like it's a square, but it's just a constant spiral that goes around and around. And then I have a single crochet edging right here. I don't know, you guys. I get this tickle in my throat and then I can't talk. Okay. Then I love doing card making. Who am I giving these cards to? I have no clue. But I just love making them. It's kind of like the socks. I just love making them. And then I guess I'll have them in case I need to send someone a card. But I found this new gal, and she'll be listed in the description, and she does quilt related cards. So they look like quilt designs, and I just absolutely fell in love with that idea. So last night, sorry guys. So last night I sat there and I watched her and I thought, I'm going to try this. The first one I did wrong. They are tiny pieces, I'm telling you. But you wouldn't know that it was done wrong unless I just told you, which I just did. So this is the first one right here. So what is wrong is I forgot to cut these in half again so that they fit under in between the Ohio star up there. And she just does a little bit of a peek of the background around that. This one I don't have anything inside. And then I just have this on the back side so I can put on, you know, handmade by me. The only thing with this one is that she had you score the lines, and you can see the indents up here and through here. And then once I did that, I don't have a texture plate like she does, and she ran it through a texture plate so it gave it a quilted look of it and you wouldn't see those marks. So I decided I'm going to keep this as a demo for myself so that I can remember what this one is. So there was that one. And then I did do it correctly, except for I cut something off on this side so that it's only a three-sided edging. But this is the correct way. And I am very limited on my scrapbook paper because the majority of it is Christmas paper, and this is about all I have of my construction paper. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to try it the correct way so I can see how it's supposed to be. Now I did this design in here, and then I stamped in there that right there. But y'all, you all start out with a 1-inch square. So all of these started as a 1-inch square. Then you cut the 1-inch square on diagonal to diagonal, and then diagonal to diagonal. So you got 4 pieces right here for that. This right here, you take this size, because you've cut it into 4s, then you cut this in half again. So that's what makes the star around it. And those are teeny tiny. Teeny tiny. So I just put this in there. I would have to probably put something white if I'm going to write something in it, because you won't be able to see it. And then I just did this for the back. So you can do it either way. It's just that this has the correct right here. But I'm absolutely loving. And she has a Facebook page. She has a group. I've joined the group on Facebook, and she's got all these under files. And her files, when you print them up, the PDFs, they are wonderful. And so I'm going to put them in a notebook binder so I can keep them, so I know. But I definitely like these. So I did one more because she did one yesterday. And it was more for Valentine's. And of course, I have no reds left. None whatsoever. But this was today's. But I don't think I have enough contrast because it's supposed to be, hopefully, you're supposed to be able to see hearts. Hearts, 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 all the way around. But I don't think I have enough contrast. But it's still a cute card. So this was called, I think, a book binding because it opens like a book. And the only tiny pieces on this one is this right here. That started out as a 1/2-inch square that you cut into diagonal this way, and they are teeny, teeny, tiny. These right here are 2 squares set on top of each other. But I will have her video linked because she did it on YouTube also. But I like this book binding. But y'all, this is all, and on this one, I just did this to the back. So, yeah, I really like this stuff. So, when I get paid again, I need to go on Joann's and I need to order some more cardstock. I have plenty of white. I have plenty of ribbon. I also need to get some stencils or an embossing folder. That would be one of my things I'd like to do. So that's what I've been working on this last week. Last night, today. But I absolutely love that. So the other thing, when we went out to eat and everything, and catch up and all the good stuff that you do, there might be some difficult times coming up for my family, and God's got us all in his hands. Nothing to do with me, but we'll know more next week, hopefully. But it just made me think, you know, when I complain about this ache and pain or my weight or everything, after sitting with my mom and my sister and listening to them, I don't have it as bad. I might feel like I do, but I don't have it as bad. So we were sitting there talking. We all left, and I'm going to tell you, I ordered a pot roast sandwich and fries, and I had a Diet Coke. And I only ate half of the fries and only half of the sandwich because I got full. And I could have forced myself, but I didn't. I just pushed it off to the side. Actually, I picked it up and put it on the tray on the other side of Jerry. And then at the end, as we were leaving, saying our goodbyes, my sister was going to buy my mom some ice cream because you can buy them in the pints for $5.29 for a pint of ice cream. And Jerry didn't want any, and I didn't want any. She was going to buy me some, and I said, nope, I'm fine. She goes, oh, just do it, just do it. Well, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't. I turned down ice cream. But that was all right, because I don't feel like I lost out. So then we went and did some errands. We stopped to Ace Hardware for him for some staining stuff and other things that he's working on out in his woodworking area. Stopped to Walgreens and had to pick up a couple of things there. And they had this, I've been seeing this online on the sponsored things on Facebook. And I've looked at it, and I've looked at it on Amazon. It was the same price, and I've been really wanting one of these. So y'all, I just picked it up and got it today. So it is a devotional coloring book. I love to color, and I love that it was spiraled. But what I like about this is that you have a devotion, and then you have a coloring page. And they are all different coloring pages, like the devotions. So this was, I think, 14 something. This devotion right here is called Hues, H-U-E-S, of Hope. When Jesus woke up, he rebuked the wind and said to the waves, silence, be still. Suddenly the wind stopped and there was a great calm. Mark 4:39, New Living Translation, is the devotion. And then this is the picture right here. So it is hardcover, yep, $14.99. It is through Day Springs. I'm really looking forward to this. This is something that the older I get, the more that I'm digging into God's Word and the devotions, and the coloring especially, I love to color, and so I'll get out my colored pencils and start coloring into that. So that's all that I have to show you today. So I hope that your last week was a great one, and that whatever makings that you're doing, craftings that you're doing, that you are enjoying it. I hope that you are enjoying your time of life right now and finding the good in everything. Sometimes we gotta dig a little deeper, don't we? So, but anyways, I am going to let you go. I have to edit this and get everything uploaded so that I'm not doing that at 8 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night. And then I think I'm going to then cast on for this one. And or I might finish the toes. I don't know. One of the two. So, but anyways, thanks again, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this, and pretty soon there'll be gardening stuff because it's getting close, isn't it, Miss Janet? It's getting close if you start seeds. I think March is going to be my earliest unless I do onions, and then I got to do those pretty soon. So, but anyways, thanks again. I hope that you have a very blessed rest of your Friday or whatever day you're watching this. I hope that whatever you are doing, that it brings you joy. And until we can meet again, check out me on Tuesday. If not Tuesday, I'll see you next Friday. Thanks, friends.